Hey YouTube, it's Echobear, and for the second week in a row, I forgot to double check my mic and recorded an entire episode without realizing there was no audio. So, round 2 for 2 this week, and today I want to do an app for you guys. It's called paper.io. Now, before I get into talking about this app and why I like it and the pros and cons of it, let's get through some of the serious stuff. So paper.io is made by Voodoo, and the first version that I can find of it being released was on November 4th, 2016. And if you've ever played agar.io or Agario or slither.io or Slitherio, people say the names differently between who you're talking to, but if you've ever played any of those games, this game is super similar, and if you like those games, you'll probably like this one. So the whole premise of paper.io is to fill up an entire grid space with your paper color. Simple. But it kind of takes in the mechanics of slither.io that as you're going, if you get too long or have too much space taken up by your little paper trail and somebody crosses over it, then it's an instant game over. So, seeing that, you start out with your little paper square about yay big. I mean, it's smaller, but scale things just pretend it's this big. Okay. But you start out with that little paper square and you start moving instantaneously. You drop in, you get your color, you go. You go around doing that and you get your trail as long as you possibly can safely, and then return back to your original square to make all of that space yours. Now that seems nice and simple and happy and easy, woo, fun time, but this is a multiplayer game and there are many other people with the same goal as you who see you taking up their space and want to come get rid of you. And also it's your goal to get rid of them because you get more coins, but details. So you start out doing this, you get going, and you want to try and take up as much space as possible. Hopefully, I'm guessing you win when you fill up 100% of the space, which I've yet to see anybody do. The most I've ever seen anybody take up is about 50% of a map, which even then, it's ridiculously easy for someone to just come across and whoop, you're right out of existence, even when you have that much space. So it's balanced in such a way that the game continues endlessly. You can just keep going and going and going and returning to the same map, and the leaderboard just constantly gets swapped out. It's not like Agario or Slitherio where you become powerful enough that you just kind of hold a map and control that as much as you possibly can. It's very much so a give and take, constant push-pull within this game. And as you continue going, you get a tally of points from how many other players you've taken out, how much space you've gotten, and a percentage out of 100. And that kind of stuff gets totaled into your final tally, which is given to your points. So by the end, you get a ton of coins, and you use those coins to get other skins for your little blocky. So you continue going in this way just as long as you can, and pretty much your only validation is getting number 1 on the leaderboard or getting a new skin from getting enough coins. So honestly, the motivation for this game really isn't that long lasting. You can kind of have fun with it for maybe 20 or so minutes, but unless you're really ridiculously competitive like some people, it's kind of hard to make it last really long. I am ridiculously competitive, and so I have a lot of fun with it. Do I think it's for everybody? No, not really, but if you are really competitive and you enjoy these types of games, as I said before, if you already know that you like Agario or Slither.io, you'll pretty much like this kind of game too. It has that competitive atmosphere and just constant tug and pull between the first position and second and so on and so on. It's just constantly shifting, and you have just as much of a chance to take down the person in first as any other person. Or the person in first has just an easy chance of taking you out as you do them. It's very well balanced, honestly. Aesthetically, it's not the most impressive thing. It's a white background with a gray outline to tell you where you can go, and then the colors and various variations of the colors from the skins that are the paper. So There's really not a lot there. It's very basic. It looks nice for what it is, but it is very, very basic. As well as the non-existent sound design. Like, this game would have done wonders if there's some sound design in it. Like, if you just had some simple pops, like for when you get a game over, if you had like some sort of noise to let you know that you're being, like, having your space taken from you, having some sound of when you take space from someone else or take out another player, or just some sort of like audio cues in there, or even just a simple backing track would have done this game a lot of favors, in my opinion, instead of the white noise void that accompanies the white void that you're playing in. I know that these games in the past haven't had audio, and I think that's like a huge disservice to it. I really, really genuinely think that these games should have an audio track going with it, and I feel like it's a disservice to the game to not have that. Does it really affect gameplay? No. Would it make it more fun? Yeah. Shrug. But honestly, this game is really fun, and if, like I said, if you do already like this type of game, I recommend you go check it out. So for everything this game has, I'm gonna have to give it about a 6 out of 10. It's a good game, it's a lot of fun to play, but there's just really not a lot to it. So I think it's fun, yeah. I think it's fun to play if you're competitive, yeah. I think it's a really good follow-up to Slither.io, Agar.io, all the other .io games. I feel like it's a really good successor to all of those. Do I think it's really worth it in the end? No, not really. But it's just my opinion. If you guys still want to check it out, I'll leave links in the description for you guys to go download it. Make sure you stick to the very end of this video to see some of the other stuff that I've done. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!